Hello, and welcome to episode 5 of the Code Breakdown. I'm your host, Andrew DuPont.
And I'm Brian Miller. Today we're going to be looking at part 2 of Snipster. I believe we left off last time with the generation of the Rails project and adding Cucumber and our spec into it. Today we're going to actually look into implementing our first feature. So being the good BDD, TDD developers that we are, we should start working on our Qs. Isn't that right, Drew?
That sounds about right to me.
All right. So, first feature. We were talking last time about adding a sign up.
Yeah,
Does that still sound like a good idea at this point?
I'm okay with that. I think sign up is interesting because in order to implement most of the other features, we're going to need sign up. I mean, we could implement other features kind of ignoring the concept of sign up and the concept of a user. But we'd then have to go back and add that concept into those features later anyways.
Yeah.
So we might as well just add the concept of a user and sign up off the bat.
Yeah, because I mean, it is eventually in our goal to have these snippets that we can save under an account. So it's it would be easier to create that user construct. Although it's also fairly natural to create the actual snippet itself and then work from there. But
The other interesting idea would be trying to do the service without the need for an account. Like if we were to look at gist.github.com or pasty.org, like gist.github.com, you have an account. And it associates all of those with you. But pasty.org, you don't have to have an account. Pasty.org, you can just go create a snippet and then share that snippet with people, right?
Yeah, it's very true. We could do that, but then that's true. We could actually do that. So it would be more natural for us to actually start with the snippet instead of going with sign up.
Yeah, so the question, I guess, is which path do we want to take? What kind of features are we looking to provide with this tool? Are we looking to provide kind of like a maintained list of your personal snippets? Or are we really looking to use this tool as a tool of kind of allowing people to share code snippets as a sharing tool, like within an IRC channel or something like that?
I mean, honestly, I think you could probably do both. You could have a library of your own snippets, and then we can provide handles for sharing those amongst users and create like some sort of canonical location for that.
Mm-hmm.
And then give you the ability to add other people's snippets into your particular library.
Okay.
So it's a,
Interesting.
I mean, it's a thought because it would be kind of cool if you could search through there and have snippets that have taxonomy or something along that lines. Because I mean, I think I use an app to store a whole bunch of little snippets that I pull out from time to time, little shell scripts for doing different things.
Okay. Yeah.
And have some place online that you can share those.
Yeah. So it's not only just storing them for your own personal use later on in time, for like all the little things that we can't remember, but also just as a sharing mechanism.
Well, because I mean, for this example, it would be interesting to go through not only the storage problems that exist with having large sets of data that you're trying to store and maintain, but also that sharing mechanism where you're trying to keep ownership of something but also move it into different users, into different user areas.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
okay, cool. So I guess we decided on both. So let's just start with user then.
Yeah. All right. User.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll go ahead and do this.
Okay.
So let's see here. What do we want to call this? Actually, I'll do it this way. So add user sign up.
Sounds good to me.
All right. So the first thing we're going to do is, if we got a running Vim session, we do not. So let's go into features and let's add a new feature, which would be user sign up.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right. I can never remember the preamble.
It starts out feature colon and then whatever the short name is.
Yes. New user sign up.
And then it's in order to as role or whatever concept. And then the last line is do. Whatever the do is.
So sign up for a new account at Snipster.
Yes.
So in order to obtain a new account at Snipster.
So is that really it?
I don't know. Let's see. Let me read it. In order to obtain an account at Snipster as a new user, no, I should be able to.
Wait.
No.
Sure. I should be able to, or that's fine. But that's not. I guess my concern is that sign up for a new account and obtain an account are really the same thing in my mind.
Yep.
So that what is the purpose? What's the overall arching goal? That's kind of what the in order to is a higher level overarching goal, right? Which is in this case it's to
in order to save and sort of snippets.
Save and share snippets, or I don't know.
Yep.
Yeah. Something like that.
Shippets. That's not what we're doing. That's a totally different app. All right. In order to save and share snippets as a new user, I should be able to sign up for a new account at Snipster. All right.
Yep. Sounds good.
So, Mario, the always embarrassing can't spell part of the.
Here.
Mario.
You need some help.
God.
Here.
There we go. That's embarrassing. Scenario: Brian learns how to. Oh, that's actually just insult to injury right there. So scenario. Let's see here. A new user signs up for an account. All right. Okay. I'm actually just going to outline these scenarios first, and then we can fill them in.
Cool.
Scenario.
That's actually what I usually do.
Yeah. So an existing user attempts to sign up for an account. Actually, that's not entirely accurate. Yeah. We're going to, I assume we're going to use email addresses as a primary key.
Yeah, that sounds good to me. Yeah.
Yeah. So
this scenario is really just the scenario where somebody tries to sign up with an email that's already taken, or?
Yes. So a user attempts to sign up with a
with an already taken or registered email.
Yep. All right. And then we're going to have required fields, right? So and there's going to be a required field for user does not provide.
Yeah, I figure we'll have like password and password confirmation as well as email.
Yep.
At a minimal, right? Like we have to have at least those fields.
And that should be fine. All right. So we've got three scenarios. So we've got the user signs up, user can't sign up because they already have an email registered, and then a user doesn't fill out the form correctly.
Yes.
Are there any other cases you can think of?
No, not right now at least. We may run into them later, but that's probably good enough to start.
All right. So shall we just focus on the first one?
Sure. Yeah, I usually just grab one and go.
All right. So let's see here. Given, actually, no, we don't even. There is no given here. There's no user. There is no state that we necessarily need to focus on at this particular point. It's they're.
It's given you are not a user, or
I mean, do we even want to? Do we need to explicitly state that?
I mean, I tend to, but that's because this is really intended to be more of a communication tool than thought of as a test driver, if you will. So I kind of just use it just for verbosity in terms of communication between the product person and the developers.
So, given the user does not exist, so we have some sort of existential crisis
Yes.
when uh, when they visit the sign up. We want that all one word. I don't really want to have to go through that again.
Yeah.
When then just it's just one of those nights.
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
When the visit the sign up.
It's just yes.
That one makes sense.
It's a process, man. It's a process. We'll eventually get there.
All right.
So when they visit the sign up page
Okay.
and they enter, I'm gonna there. So I'm going to be overly verbose, and we can actually pull it back out a little bit later. So they enter a username of tester. And they actually, let's just, and a password. Password. Oh man, password of.
You didn't switch to Dvorak or something on me, did you?
You know, it's started already. I don't know what's going on. Maybe I will like pick up Tom's that weird keyboard you have.
Yeah.
That's so that
Just steal Tom's.
Yeah. When they visit the sign up page and they enter a username of tester and a password of password, and they click the button.
Clicked is.
We can go with that. It's a new way of saying clicked.
I like it. Clicked.
It's kind of got that action.
Yeah. Someone should build a hipster web service called
That's
Clicked.
Right. That's right. It's kind of like a cricket kind of thing.
Yeah.
Then the account.
Then
they should be taken to the account. They should be taken to a success page. All right.
Sure, we can start with that. Yeah.
Yep. Well, of course, this needs to be refined. They should be taken to a success page, and they should see a confirmation message. All right.
Okay.
Now, I did several things wrong, I know, just because I wanted to type this out and we can refine it. You want to go through and point out all the things that I did wrong?
Sure. All right. So let's see. So given the user doesn't exist, I'm pretty happy with this line.
Okay.
It's pretty clear. When they visit the sign up page, that's also relatively clear.
Yes.
This one I have a little problem with.
I
And they enter a username of tester and a password of password. That is somewhat problematic because it has implementation specific details inside of the Cucumber actual scenario steps. It's generally okay to have implementation details like that in your Cucumber step definitions, but you want to avoid having those inside of the actual step descriptions themselves. And the reason being is that if you have these implementation details here, then by nature they're also going to be tied to your step definitions. And when you ever change code that changes those implementation details, that means you're going to have to come all the way back up to your Cucumber feature files and update that implementation detail, right?
Yep.
To make your test pass. The other reason that it's generally not a good idea is because the product person who you're working with when you're writing these usually doesn't care about the implementation detail whatsoever, right? So they don't want to see the file changing all the time because you're changing implementation details, and they don't even want to think about the implementation details. They just want to know that from an acceptance standpoint, the product needs to provide this functionality, this feature, right?
Yep.
And that feature works according to the acceptance test. So,
All right. So what's a better way of doing this?
so I mean, generally, you just want to try to think of them at higher level concepts and abstract away the details. So this line here, we're actually talking about how they enter a username of tester and a password. And then here we're also talking about them submitting that form.
Mm-hmm.
So we could generalize both of these into a single one that says something like, and they fill out and submit the sign up form. Something as generic as that.
I think that's good.
And then
I think that we also need to be a little bit more specific in that case because we do have that third scenario where they don't provide required fields. So I think we should put a modifier in there that it's a valid form.
they fill out and submit the sign up form. They fill out the the
Yeah.
they validly fill out.
Ooh. That's
It's weird, right?
a little bit. It sounds like they're very, they very excitedly filled out the form.
Yeah, but then it's not the form itself that's valid, right?
How about they fill out and submit a valid sign-up form?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Still seems like we're talking about the form being valid, not them filling out
Okay.
the form properly. Let's just say they correctly fill out
Okay.
and submit. How about that?
That sounds good.
Okay. So now we look like we have something like this. Then they should be taken to a success page, and they should see a confirmation. So right now they sign up. Are we thinking that they're going to get sent to? Are we going to have a separate page that's just a page that says, "Hey, you received this, or you successfully signed up," and we're just going to output like some text saying that, and that's all that page is going to be used for? Or are we thinking about having it take them to some other page and just putting a little message at the top of that page?
Well, now that you cast such dubious light on my scenario feature, actually, to tell you the truth, we probably should just bounce them back to the whatever main page there is and show them a confirmation flash message and sign them in.
Okay, so whatever the
So that
root of the app is going to be, we'll just send them back to that.
yeah, so then they should be taken to the home page or whatever it is we're going to call it. And they should see a confirmation message or a success message, whatever we want to call that. Success is probably better. It's also shorter. And do we want to add in there something about them being logged in, or is that?
I mean, that's a good question, right? I mean, the way this is written right now would suggest that they're just signed up, or that an account was created for that user,
Yep.
but that they're not currently logged in.
Yep.
So, I mean, I think ideally in what we would want is when they sign up, they successfully create an account, it should automatically log them in.
Yeah, so again, I gotta fix another spelling error that apparently I'm just flagrantly adding into our features.
It's all right. We're still flushing it out. So,
That makes me feel a lot better.
okay, so what do we want to add at the end of the scenario to verify that they're logged in?
Well, if we add one of those little status areas up in the right hand corner to show what account they're logged in as, or provide login links, we can just say, and we should see the user
email, or see the logged in as message, or
yeah.
Okay, I'm cool with that,
Because I'll throw that in there. And they should see the logged in as status. Right?
sure.
Sure. I think that'll probably get updated when we actually implement it.
Yeah,
All right. Does this look good?
seems pretty reasonable to me. I'm pretty happy with it.